Now that we've created the body, we want to go ahead and create the head that we can attach to it. I've already set up a model with the rotoscope, so we don't have to go through doing that. If you look here in the model, I'm going to double click it, that will open it. And if I look here, this is my front view, you can see how this head is, the center of it goes right down the middle there. I'll go to my left view, hitting 6 on the numpad, and you can see how my head is right there, and then go to right, hitting 4 on the numpad, and it's just the opposite, so I can work from both sides if I wanted to. So I'm going to go back to my front view. This head will give me a lot of good opportunity to work with really smooth shapes, but also simple geometry, which will aid in all the animation that I need to do. So now that I've created this head, or created this rotoscope, I can go ahead and start modeling the head. Now what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to start laying out some main splines. So I'm going to go into my side view by hitting 6 on the numpad, and then I want to start laying out my main spline here. So I'm just going to start at the top of the head and start clicking down, keeping in mind that I want to keep this very, very simple. Add one more down here. Okay, so now I've got that in. Let me go around the back. This is going to be even more simple. Okay, so I've got that profile curve. I can look at it right here. So I can tumble here and see what my profile curve looks like. Looks really good. It's pretty simple. There's a few places I may put in some extra geometry a little bit later, but it looks pretty good. So that's my front. Now if I go into my front view, I can start on my side profile, and I just want to add from that point I want to make sure I hit the right one. I want to attach it right here. So then what I can do is I can go into my side view by hitting 6 on the numpad, and then start shaping this by holding down the 3 key and moving my CPs. And I can just move those back to where they need to go. These will probably go up in front of my ear here, so I'm going to do this. And just move them back. Like so. And actually what I think I want to do is I think I want to detach this, so select that, hit delete, and then select this, kind of spit one out from it, and then pull it back and connect it there. And then using the 3 button, the 3 key, I can kind of pull my spline back like that. So that way I've got my profile curve, and I've got for the front and for the side. Now I may change things a little bit later on, but that's where we're going to start, so let's start there. The other one we want to do, let's go to our side view here, is the eyebrow. We want it to come around and come back up and reattach here. So I'm just going to draw it in here. Okay. And then I just want to take it, select one of them, go into your front view by hitting 2 on the numpad, and then hold down the 1 key and start moving it out. Now I'm having a hard time seeing this color here, so I'm just going to go up to Customize, select Objects, and then select White. Hit OK. There we go. So now I'm going to start moving these out so that they fit with the brow. It's actually lined up pretty well, so I'm just going to do this and move these out. Okay, so get a smooth curve there. Now you can see kind of how that's working. Now, one thing I want to do right off the bat is if I hit 5 on the numpad and go to my front view, you can see how my eyebrows or my brow line is really slanting backwards. So I actually want to bring these forward by holding down the 3 key to get a good curvature for my cheek and my cheekbone and my eyebrow. That's better. Maybe even a little more on these. If I go to my side view, I need to move these ones back a little more. Like that. Now this is going to come down quite rapidly, but then it's going to come back out. So this little kind of right on the bridge of, right at the base of his nose here, it's going to be in, but then his cheekbone's going to come back out. So we want to kind of shape it like that. Okay. So let's save this as head 02. You don't have to have the new one there. That's looking pretty good there for that spline. Now let's go to our side view again by hitting 6 on the numpad, and let's figure out how we want to do the nose. We pretty much just want, we're not going to have a whole lot of detail, so I just want this to come up here and go back around. So I'm going to go like this, bridge of the nose, kind of pit of the nose, down around the corner, and then back here. And this, select that, go to my front view, hold down 1 and drag it out. Bridge. And this one, let's divide it, so hit Y on the keyboard. Alright. So that's kind of how we want the nose to work out. Now let's go back to our side view. You can see how I've got this spline here and this spline here. So let's actually divide this one. And we'll kind of suck this one in, put this one in the corner, and this one pretty close to it. Okay, and then we'll go to our front view and kind of rearrange them. Okay, so now I've got kind of the profile curve for my nose on both the front and the side. Now let's do the mouth. Now if I go into my side view, you can see how I want my mouth to go around this way. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add another control point in right here so I can get more of a rounded shape in the lip. And then I'm also going to add one right here so that I can bring this out. What I'm going to do here is using the A key, draw one in here and just kind of put a line in there of the mouth. Now if I select that one, go to my front view, hold down the 1 key and drag it out to the corner of the mouth, and then evenly space them like that. You can see how that worked. Now I want to bring these out so that it's a good curve back to the corner of the mouth and it's not too diagonal. When you just use a front and a side view, a lot of times you don't get that curve. If you go to the top view, you'll see it's very slanted like this, whereas you want it to kind of be flat and then round back to the back of the head. Think about the head as a box, and you want to kind of model it that way, but with rounded edges on it. Think about big shapes. So, okay, so now that we've got that, let's go to our side view here. And I'm actually going to break this. So select this spline right here and hit K, and then hit A to extend one down and extend one right near it. That. Then select this spline like like this, hit the comma key, hit copy, paste, and then hold down the 2 button and just move it up just slightly. Now I don't want to attach this yet. I actually want to select this one and hit Y, then drag this to drop it on. And I did that by you left click and hold, and while you're still holding you drag the CP over the top and right click. So now I've got this line here, and what I want to do is connect them. This will give me my mouth, so I've got an upper lip and a lower lip. So let's go back to our side view here. Now the first thing I want to do, I'm going to divide this, is I want to draw a spline that goes around the corner of the mouth and meets up with the bottom lip. So, and then just shape that into place. And grab the corner here. Go into my front view by hitting 2 on the numpad, hold down 1, and drag it out to the very corner. And then shape this mouth here. Okay, and do the bottom 2. So that one, and that one there. I've got one extra point on the bottom, so I'm actually going to delete that one out, and then move this one back with the 1 key. Okay, now see how when I did that it turned it very diagonal, so I'm going to use the 3 key to pull these out. I want to make sure they're a little further out than the mouth, except for this top row. I want a very flat upper lip, so I'm just going to do that. Right click and save it. So now I've kind of got that for my mouth. Now let's do the same thing. Go to my front view with this loop right here. So we're actually going to hit the A key, add, add, add. Just go around and do this. Okay, and grab this corner spline here, use the 3 key, and just push it back slightly. Push all of them just slightly back. This one, bring it back. Let's grab the wrong one. Bring this one out here. Okay. What I can see here is this is too drastic of a curve, so I actually want to add one in on all of these. So I'm going to hit Y, Y, and then these 2. Y there. Okay, and that way I can kind of move these around. And once we create this surface, we'll shape it all the way it needs to go. Okay. So it looks pretty good. Now, let me go to my side view again. And I can see how my eye socket's working the way I want it to go. I want it to be like this. Now I want to think about the other way I want to run splines. So let me go back to the side view. I want to think about edge loops. I actually want one spline to come down this way, come down around to his chin, one spline to come from his chin and go all the way up, and then this one to loop around again. So let's start drawing those in. Let's divide this, and then draw one in here, bridge of his nose, and kind of his cheek. Okay, this is where we want it to meet up with the mouth, so I'm going to drag it out, go to my front view. Start kind of dragging this out. go up around the edge of my nose here. This is the bridge. And this kind of sucks back in like that. This one here. Now, the advantage to running all these splines before you start creating geometry is you can see where the main splines you want need to run. And you can kind of get a shape of the face before you ever start committing geometry to it. It's really nice to be able to edit this and just say, I don't want a spline there, I want it here, and be able to just switch it out and without having to rearrange a ton of geometry. So there's that one. Let's go back to our side view. And this chin, I'm just gonna like that. Thinking kind of about the contours of the face and how I want that to run, and where I want to connect splines in. These I actually want them to come forward a little bit, so I'm going to use the 3 key and bring them forward. Kind of smooth that out. Okay. Another thing is you can just lay splines down, and then later on you can go through and fix the shape of them. So I'm gonna hold down the 1 key and start pulling this one out. Probably need 1 or 2 more in there. So just drag them out like that. Go down to this one, back to my front view. Just hold down 1. Now remember, when I'm doing this, I want to keep the geometry as simple as possible. Maybe select this one right there. There we go. I don't want to get the geometry too complicated. I want to keep it pretty simple. Pretty flat shapes or very simple shapes, nice curves, because I don't want too much geometry that'll cause wrinkling in the model. So, okay, now let's think about the eye for just a second. The way I want to do it is I want to have the eyelid come up in like this. So I'm going to draw the eye in, start at the corner, go up here, and it's not going to look exactly like my drawing, mainly because you can do things in a drawing that you can't in a model. But we can get close. So, there's the profile curve for my eye. I'm going to take this piece, go to my side view, zoom in on it, and then hit N to go into manipulator mode and drag it forward. Now I can grab one of these CPs, go to my side view again, and then start using 3 to pull it back and to start shaping out the way I want my eye to work. Now remember, your eyelid is actually covering a sphere. So you have to kind of keep that in mind as you're modeling these things. So now if I look at this, you can see how it's shaped more like that. Okay. So we've got the majority of our splines in place and how we want them to run. Look at my side view here one more time. Pull this one back just a little more. This one. As you can see, none of them are really perfect. They're all kind of a little bit, maybe a little bit too wavy or not enough definition, but that's okay. We just want to get them in there, get them in place. Because now what I can do is I can start going in and connecting pieces of geometry to create the face. So let's go ahead and save it. And in the next section we'll go through and connect all this geometry so we can start creating a surface.